Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel, and sorry to have slipped away again for a week or so with no updates of the items I've been using in lockdown. I pretty much ground to a bit of a halt there, although there were a few other things that I wanted to talk about which maybe I'll slip in a few days' time, but I got a real craving to buy something new and show you something new. And it seems to be taking forever for the kind of summer holiday collections to come out. Deals did come out a few weeks ago. There was nothing I really wanted in the deal collection. The eyeshadow palettes were very pretty, but a bit too out there for me. And as I've discussed before, I am trying to be a bit more mindful about what I buy. So I passed on those, and I've passed on a few other things that I quite like the look out of, but then I thought, do I really need these? Are they so different to what I've already got in my collection? And I've really been kind of stripping down my collection. Just before I show you the items that I am going to show you today, I will say that what I'm really wanting to get are the Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate palettes that have 4 eyeshadows and bronzer blush highlighters in them. I think there are 4 palettes, and I've seen quite a few videos on YouTube because they've obviously been released in the States quite a while ago, but although I stalk all the websites, they're not over here yet, so I'm really saving my money for those, and I will definitely buy at least one of those, possibly 2. So I'm really kind of concentrating my Tom Ford collection these days. But as some of you who have followed me for a bit know, my weakness is nail varnish. And although I haven't been wearing much nail varnish during lockdown because I've been washing my hands such a lot, doing my own housework and not being able to get to a manicurist, my nails are in a bit of a state. I did put a bit of polish on so they don't look too bad today doing this video, but I have been stalking the Chanel website, and the minute some new nail varnishes were shown, along with some new cocoa lip shines, if you're in the market for cocoa lip shine, I know they're very popular products. I've got more than enough. I was immediately in the market for the nail varnishes. As far as I can see, there are 7, which seems a really odd number. And I have to tell you, you can see I've got 3 here, which arrived today. I've ordered another 3 separately. Why do I do that, you ask? Because here's a little tip coming up. UK Chanel website where you can order makeup and nail varnish. If you spend, I'm going to say over £50, I think it's about 50, but 3 nail polishes are 66. Certainly if you spend that much money, you get to choose 2 samples and you get, I think, free postage. You can spend double, triple that amount and you still only get to choose 2 samples, which I think is really unfair. Some websites, do it by the amount you spend. So it seems like a pretty easy decision to me to make, to order in separate bunches so I get more samples. As simple as that, which is really stupid from Chanel's point of view because they're paying more postage, wasteful about packaging and so on and so forth. But why do people out of the samples? I really love the little perfume samples that you get in a tiny little spray bottle because they're great to have in your handbag for travelling. So I generally order 2 of those. There we are. So that's why separate orders, but the other 3 haven't come. And then there's another one which I haven't got yet, which I probably will. So here's the first batch. The one that I immediately put in my basket was this one. It's called Cruise, and I was very attracted to a nice, bright, summery orange. That was one I wanted to get on my nails straight away. So there it is. That's Cruise. It's a real creamy, yellowy orange. Do you need it? Well, I haven't worn it yet, so I haven't seen it on the nails. Had a dig in my orange drawer. I can show you my favourite orange of all time from Chanel, which is this one, Holiday, from 2012. You can see immediately that that's a much more, what I'd call red orange. They're not the same at all. A more kind of burnt, true orange rather than peachy orange. That's my absolute favourite. There was one called Arancha Vibrante as well. I think last year or the year before, I haven't got out, which I also like a lot. That's more red than this one, it's more an orangey red rather than a red orange. I picked out about 3 that I thought were close, but not exactly the same. You can kind of see in the bottles. Here's one that's much more kind of pinky peach. That's Orange Fizz. So got orange in the name, but definitely more pinky peachy toned. And I think you could probably say the same for this one, LA Sunset. I think this is actually probably the closest. Let's put the blank side so you can see them together, but still not an exact match. Again, it's more kind of peachy than orangey. I picked out Lilas, which is not this one, but it wasn't that similar. This is Mirabella, which also is similar. Perhaps that's the most similar of them, actually. That's kind of peachy, but has got the kind of micro shimmer gold in it, which is making it look a bit more orangey in the bottle. So very similar. If you had Mirabella, which is a few years ago now, not the new formulation, then you might think, well, it's a bit similar. But otherwise, I'd say that's quite a new summery colour. Dior also has done orange for this summer range. I suppose it's a bit of a no-brainer, isn't it, along with gold for summer, but, you know, very cheering. Then what about this one? Melody. Which one is this? Yeah, here we go. So this is the blue. I tend to like more kind of icy blues than this is a kind of true boy blue, I would call. When I saw this, I immediately thought of Mediterranee as very similar to it. Here's a Mediterranee from a few years ago. You can see when you put them next to each other, they're similar, but not the same. So there we go. There's this year's Melody. Bit darker than Mediterranee, but quite similar. So again, you might definitely think, I mean, actually, they're really, really similar, aren't they? If you had Mediterranee, you might definitely think, I really don't need Melody as well. There was nothing more similar than that in my drawer, and I have got quite a few blues, so I think that's the most similar. And then of these 3, this one is Harmony. I didn't think this is particularly summery, but tell me what you think. I'd call this a kind of teal green. This is Harmony, and more a kind of autumnal colour to me, but maybe they were thinking of the sea. It's kind of sea coloured, so you could go with that as a summer shade. It would look nice with kind of a lot of bronzer and kind of goldy face look, maybe. I think this is the most unique of these 3 and possibly of the whole collection. I have quite a few greens, although it's not the easiest colour, and none of my Chanel greens are anything like this. I have in mind there is a very old one called, I think, Green Sortilège, Vert Sortilège. I haven't got it, or it wasn't in my drawer, and I'm not sure if that's very similar. If it is, that's years old. I have in mind that YSL did one, I think called Jade, that my memory says was very similar to this, but I haven't got it anymore. I've really kind of got rid of most of my non-Chanel nail varnishes. And as I say, literally nothing in the drawer that looked anything like this. So definitely of these 3, and probably of the collection as a whole, because you'll see when the next 3 comes, there's a darker blue and a couple of pinks and the red that I haven't got. That one is probably the most unique that you might want to go for if you like green nail varnishes. I think they can be tricky to wear because they can look a bit odd on some skin tones, but quite a nice cheerful selection there. I'll let you know what they're like when I've got round to wearing any of them. If you're interested, what I've got on my nails there is one of the permanent collection, which is Garçon. It looks darker on the nails than in the bottle. So yeah, those are my first 3 purchases. Another 3 any day now. That's probably all I'm going to get from the summer collection, certainly what's released at the moment. I'm not going to get any of the lipsticks. As I say, I'm holding out for Tom Ford and saving my pennies. So interested to know what has tickled the fancy of any of you, if you've made any purchases in lockdown. It's a bit difficult when you can't get to the shops and we're just buying online, but sometimes it's nice to have a little treat. Anyway, until next time, hope you're all well, keep safe, bye for now.